Hello, I'm IBXToyCat, and this is Seeds Sunday, a weekly series where I show you seeds for Minecraft, Xbox 60, and PS3 that are particularly notable in some way, and this week's seed is very much notable because it has rare features in it. So last week I had a golden apple seed, and not everyone believed me that was an incredibly rare feature, although it is a fraction of percent chance, like I said, of finding it. So I figured, because a lot of people said, although I'll give you that a jungle temple is a real thing, so I figured I'd show those people something that they consider to be rare, with a seed that has not just one jungle temple, but two jungle temples and the same seed, and also both the jungle temples have something kind of hilariously wrong with them. So yeah, incredibly rare occurrence, I think you can say there. And on top of that, it's a very cool seed for a whole bunch of other reasons that I'm going to show you now. So the seed is LWJGL, all caps on screen and inscription right now. If you want to use this seed, let's go right into showing you it. So this is where you spawn. Of course, there's no glowstone thing. That's just how I mark the spawn. But basically, you spawn just here, and you've got a whole bunch of options for where you can go. You can see there's an extreme hill biome over there. There's a jungle just over in the distance. You can see the little fog there. There's a forest biome. There's a snow biome in the distance, and then there's a swamp biome. So you've got a whole bunch of options here. Or you can just build on the flatland. So you've got pretty much every option you could possibly have right there, all in front of you. But basically, what you're going to want to do is, or what I'd imagine what you're going to do is go to this village just over here, which is just to the southeast of the spawn. And basically this village is really cool because it has one of each type of building, which is of course very useful, and also it has a malformed little library here, and a slightly malformed blacksmith chest, which is always amusing to look at, and also of course the blacksmith house has a blacksmith chest. It's not a great one, it just has a 2 iron helmets and some bread, so a reasonable start to the game, but it's always nice to have free food and a free armor, of course. So the cool thing about this village, in my opinion, that makes it worth staying for a little bit is I believe he'll be in the temple here. So basically, in the this guy here, the priest, he'll actually trade you IF enders for your emeralds, and 8 emeralds is a fairly high price. But since there are farmers that will tell you wheat for emeralds or trade you wheat for emeralds, and there are also librarians that will trade books for emeralds. That's paper, but there's a second one that will do books just over here. Basically, just using the village's resources and selling it back to them, you can get enough for an IF ender or 2, which is a really nice start to the game because they're reasonably late game items. So if you're doing a speed run like I tries to, or you just want to get a nice start to the game with some IF enders really early on to confuse people or whatever, it's a really cool start from that village. So yeah, really, really cool. So next we're going to go north, just north of the spawn, where you can find a ridiculous amount of pumpkins and also some, sugarcane. So, again, just get some useful late-game items. These are really cool for fighting the end dragon, and also just for making pumpkin pie, and then some sugarcane, which means you're just missing eggs if you actually want to make pumpkin pie, which is a really cool little thing right there. And I have no doubt you'll find a chicken somewhere around here, so Pumpkin Pie Island right here. And finally, we go north-east into the first jungle biome, which has the first jungle temple. So this is the first jungle temple, and as you can see, it's slightly floating, but this isn't the significantly floating one, but it's just something worth pointing out. And the only way into this one is actually through the top floor, even though it is super raised up, interestingly enough. As you can see right here, there's 2 ways in through the top floor. You have to break your way in, so you will need a pickaxe to get here. Because basically, if you look at the second level, it's bricked in on both sides, which is kind of odd, actually, except it's not entirely bricked in there. But the main entrance is bricked in, which is kind of odd and off. And yeah, if you want to head into the place, get your diamonds, or chance of diamonds, that is, because it seems to be random for each spawn, then yeah, as you can see, this time I got diamonds, which is super, super cool, and also an ingot of iron, which is really, really swell starts the game. So really nice jungle temple just from spawn, and then once you're done with this, you might want to head further north. There's a really cool extreme hill biome. If you want to settle down anywhere, I'd recommend here, because as you can see, imagine just making a house up here. Just the seclusion, the view you get, it's really, really nice. If you want to have a flatland house, of course, there's reasonably flat ground right here, and there's a whole bunch of possibilities here. But then we move into the second jungle, which is just over here. So this jungle is a really, really big one that expands like a pretty big island, and as I was looking around this, I was like, oh, just a really big jungle. What a what a really great thing. No seeds ever have those. But if you head down past the jungle onto the second part of the island, it's a pretty thin island, so need to follow it along closely. I'd recommend following the coastline if you want to not get lost in the jungle. Basically, you head into a second bigger part of the jungle, and at the very, very edge of the jungle, just over here, As you can see, somehow the jungle temple just fused with the trees, which means there's just a tree coming straight through it for some reason. And basically that leads to a jungle temple, which is full on floating from the ground, connected to a tree in a really, really confusing fashion. So yeah, jungle temple at these coordinates, which is full on just floating and inside two trees, because as you can see, second tree right here. So yeah, let's go inside it and show you what's going on there. So you can fortunately enter this one from a reasonably regular way. You just climb up some vines and go in there. I'm pretty sure the main entrance is actually blocked by the wood, which is actually kind of interesting. And yeah, let's show you inside. So same as a regular jungle temple. I'm sure these don't surprise you by now. But the really cool thing about this is the fact that you could get a second chance at diamonds. So if you didn't get diamonds the first time, hopefully you get them this time. And if not, then maybe some iron, something really cool. Two chances are better than one, right? So yeah, this seed not only has one floating jungle temple, which is really odd, it has two full-on floating jungle temples. So that's, very, very unique thing about a seed. But let's show you the rest of the seed, because there's a whole bunch of rest of the seed here, just in case that doesn't interest you. So basically, there is a massive, massive swamp biome, like the biggest one I've ever seen, that spans all the way from the ocean here. Like this entire ocean is swamp biome, because you can see it's filled with lily pads, and it's slightly off color. There's a few patches of not swamp biome in it, but for the most part, it's just a massive swamp biome across this entire thing. So unfortunately, you won't be boating across this unless, being knocked into lily pads is your thing. But if you are a lily pad collector and you want to make a massive bridge crossing one side of this to the other, you could have a very fun time, or not a fun time, but you'd have a very interesting time just punching all the lily pads, collecting them, and getting a massive stack of them. And yeah, that's something cool about this. It has the most lily pads of any seed I can imagine you'll ever find. So let's show you the rest of the seed besides the big swamp biome, because in the middle of the big swamp biome, I've marked with some glowstone over here. If you dig down from these coordinates, so if you go to these coordinates right here, then dig down about 20 blocks, you'll find yourself in a zombie spawner. So first of all, neutralize the zombie spawner. I've used glowstone right here. But once you've done that, you'll find two chests. So this first chest, regular chest, it's actually got quite a few items: redstone, bread, iron and saddles and gunpowder. But the second chest is very cool, because not only does it have thorns too, which by the way is a super rare enchantment. You don't really often see that in survival. So really nice one just to surprise your friends, because no one's expecting it. Not only does it have thorns too, it has 13, which is a music disc and a super good enchantment. Not something you see that often, and two saddles, so you can ride your pigs around. So yeah, once you're in this spawner at these coordinates, if you look just above this chest, if you dig the block, so if you go right at the chest 2 blocks in the corner here, and then dig these 2 blocks just here, so punch them with a pickaxe of some form, basically what you'll find is a little cave right here. So this cave is pretty cool, because you can head through the left bit, and you end up with a big cave system like so, that no doubt contains diamonds. You can see there's gold and lapis just in this little bit right here, and as you can imagine where all the diamonds are. Also, look how much gold there is already. There's 3 patches, and that's just what I was making, just looking at this right now. But basically, yeah, as well as this, assuming I find my way back. If you head to the right of it, so on the left, you find all the ores you'll ever need. On the right, you can find an abandoned mine shaft. So yeah, incredibly cool things that link up from this spawner, making it a really, really nice combination. So I'm not going to spoil where the stronghold location is, by the way, but it's very, very close by to these two things, just in case you want to go exploring and you want to have a fun time. I'm not going to ruin that for you. So let's just show you the final couple things the seed has, because it's not just a one-trick pony, or I guess this would be like a 4-trick pony. It's a 5-trick pony. So in the top left of the map just here, you can see there is an island. You can probably imagine what type of island it is. By the way, this is the only place that has like full-on flat sea in the map. So if you want to go boating, don't worry, the seed's got you covered. But there is a pretty chunky mushroom island just here, where you can of course find the mushrooms, the best mob in the game by a long shot. And on top of that, you could make a house or whatever. But if you dig down from these corners, so you can see from the glowstone I marked here, so minus 377 and minus 176. If you dig down from there, you'll find a mob spawner, a zombie spawner, which has a double chest. This is something I've only seen once, and it's in a seed that's not even out yet, so I guess this will be the first time you've seen it. The two chests just merge together, and you get a double chest, which is really odd, and it creates an effect like this, where you get your first chest and your second chest just kind of combined. It's really, really weird, and I didn't know you could get that until, as I said, last time I saw it, but really, really cool thing. You can go left and right, and you get reasonably sized caves. I haven't gone that far, so it could just end at really short dead ends. But there is, of course, coal ore to be found. There's coal ore to be found, and then there's iron to be found. So if that'll interest you at all. This is a pretty cool little cave to explore. If not, and you want to use the real ores, then of course the other mob spawner is still something you can go to. So yeah, this is a ridiculously cool seed in so many ways. It's got the rare factor because it has 2 jungle temples that are floating. It's got the awesome factor because it's got a chest with thorns and a cave and abandoned mine shaft, and it's got a whole bunch else. So I hope you did enjoy the video. Please do like it if you did like it, and share the seed. Let people know about the better seeds, because this is in response to you guys' stuff. So I'd very much appreciate it if you did do those things. Thanks for watching. Let's go to an outro now, where you can click links to see other seeds, in case this one doesn't float your boat. It should float your boat. If this doesn't float your boat, I don't know what's wrong. But yeah, thanks for watching, and goodbye.